Hi, I'm Reverend Jake Zabe, and welcome to Children's Bible Stories. Alright, children, today we're going to tell the story of the widow's offering, and joined with me today is my little helper, acolyte, Hezekiah. Here we are. Hezekiah, want to say hello?
Hi.
So, Jesus and his disciples were sitting opposite the treasury and watching people putting in money into the offering box. So people would come to the offering box and they'd put in money so that they could, donate to help the temple and help look after the poor and, stuff like that. So, as Jesus was watching, all these rich people were coming along, and how much money were they putting in the box, Kaya?
Heaps.
They were. And along came this old, poor widow. And she came to the box. And what did she do?
Put in little 2 coins.
That's right. She had 2 small copper coins. In the Greek, the coins are called lepta. And in the English, it says the 2 coins make up a penny. But to be exact, the 2 lepta made up 1 quadrantus. And what was that? A quadrantus was a little coin that was worth 1/64th of a denarius. And Hezekiah, do you know what a denarius is? A denarius was a coin in the Roman Empire that you normally got for 1 day's work. So if you went and did a whole day's work doing something, you normally got paid a denarius. The denarius was 1 day's work. And so a quadrantus was 1/64th of a denarius. And so this poor widow, she only had 1 quadrantus, which was about 1/64th of a denarius. Now a denarius is what you got for a day's work, and that was normally like 12 hours worth of work. Quadrantus was like probably about 10 minutes worth of work. Like, it wasn't a lot of money. She had a very, very small amount of money. And the thing is, you couldn't buy much with that. Jesus tells us in another parable that he says that you can buy 2 sparrows for 1 assarion. And he says that an assarion is about 1/16th of a denarius. Which means, for a quadrantus, you couldn't even buy 2 small sparrows. You wouldn't even have enough money to buy that. And the sparrows are these teeny little birds, and there wasn't much meat on them. And you had to have a assarion to buy 2 sparrows to eat. And so this little poor widow, she didn't even have enough money to go and buy those sparrows. But the Bible says that's all the money she had. She could barely buy anything with that, and yet that's all she had. And what did she do, Hezekiah? She
offered it. She gave it to your church.
Yeah, she donated it to the temple to be used for the work of the church and the ministry, or the work of the temple and looking after the poor and stuff like that. And so she had barely anything. And you know what Jesus said? He said that this woman had given more than all the others, because all these rich people had given out of their wealth, whereas she had given out of her poverty. Now, the important thing to remember here is it's not just that she gave a greater percentage. Because, see, these rich men, they had like millions of dollars, but they were given like $100. And so that was like only a little bit for them. Whereas she gave everything she had, so she gave 100%. But it wasn't just that she gave 100%, which is why she gave more. The thing is that she was poor, she didn't have anything, and she gave it all anyway, trusting that God would still look after her. That's the important part. It wasn't just that she gave a greater percent than the rich people. The important part was that she gave everything she had, trusting in God to look after her. And that is the most important part of the story. That she was able to give money to the work of the church, trusting that God would still provide for her and look after her. And that's our story for today, children. I've been your host, Reverend Jake Zabel. Goodbye, and God bless.